The Automatic Payment Program is a tool that helps handle mass transactions and manage payables. The program runs an accounting at user-defined intervals and processes the relevant transactions.
The main processing steps of the payment program are as follows. Maintain the payment run parameters. This step answers the following questions. Which open items will be selected to be evaluated for payment? Which payment method will be used? When will the payment be made? Which company codes need to be considered? When is the next payment run scheduled? Which payment medium will be used? Start the proposal run. After entering the parameters, the user starts the proposal run. The proposal run generates a list of business partners and open invoices that are due for payment. Execute a debit balance check. This step is optional and happens after you create a payment proposal. It helps prevent outgoing payments for accounts with a debit balance. When you run the debit balance check after the proposal run, all accounts with debit balances are automatically blocked in the current payment run. Edit the payment proposal. You can further analyze the proposal to view the details of any proposed payment, change the payment terms, or add a payment block. Start the payment run. Once the payment list is verified and the debit balance check is performed, you schedule the payment run. The system creates a payment document and the general ledger and sub-ledger accounts are updated. Schedule the print. A separate print program is scheduled to generate the payment media.
The bank master data has the following characteristics. Each bank master record has a unique bank country and bank key. Each bank master record includes address data and control data, such as the SWIFT code, postal gyro data, and the bank group. This helps optimize payments in the automatic payment program. Bank master records are stored centrally in the bank directory. Report RFBK VZ00 outputs a list of banks from table BNKA with their master data. You can use the report RFBK ABL0 to display changes to the bank master data for all banks.
The banks your company uses are called house banks. House banks contain the following information. Bank master data. Information for electronic payment transactions. Bank accounts for each house bank. General ledger accounts for each bank account. Electronic data interchange or EDI partner profiles and data medium exchange or DME details. The payment program uses the house bank ID to determine which bank to use.
A combination of the house bank ID and the account ID represent each bank account in the SAP ERP application. This combination is entered in the GL account that represents the bank account in the general ledger. You must define bank accounts managed at the house banks. You can identify these accounts by each house bank's unique account ID. The bank account data contains your bank's account number, the account currency, and the relevant GL account.
A GL account must be created for each bank account. This GL account is assigned to the bank account and vice versa. Both accounts must have the same account currency.
When you enter the bank details in the vendor or customer master record, you can access any banks that were already created in the bank directory. In this scenario, you only have to enter the bank country and the bank key. The system automatically sets the name and address of the bank. If a bank is not in the bank directory, choose the Bank Data Push button in the vendor or customer master record to add a new bank. The following are ways to create bank master data. You can enter bank information in the vendor or the customer master record or in customizing for house banks. You can import the bank directory from a disk or tape using the program RFBVALL_0 country-specific transfer of bank data. Customers who use the lockbox function can create a batch input session that automatically updates customer banking information in the master record. There are some key fields in vendor and customer master records that affect the automatic payment program.
The following are the key fields for automatic payments at company code level in a vendor master record. There are some key fields in a customer master record that affect the automatic payment program. The key fields for automatic payments at company code level in a customer master record are as follows.
If a vendor is also a customer or vice versa, you can have the payment program and the dunning program clear the vendor and customer open items against each other. You can also select the customer line items when you display the vendor line items for this account. Before you can clear items between an existing vendor and a customer account, you must perform the following steps. Enter the customer account number in the customer field in the control section of the general data in the vendor master record. Enter the vendor account number in the vendor field in the control section of the general data in the customer master record. Select clearing with vendor and clearing with customer in the company data in both the customer and vendor master records. In this way, each company code can decide separately whether it wants to clear the customer with the vendor. To determine the partner relationships for customers and vendors, set the account control and status under further selections for the customer or vendor list, that is RFDKVZ00 or RFKKVZ00.
You can enter an alternative payer or payee at the client and company code level. The entry in the company code segment has a higher priority than the entry at the client level. If you set the individual specifications indicator, you can enter information about an individual payer or payee for a customer or vendor that has not been created in the SAP system when processing an invoice. If the alternative payer or payee is an existing customer or vendor, you can enter the customer or vendor account numbers as a permitted payee or payer in the master record. When you enter an invoice, you can choose one of these payers or payees using input help. If you enter an alternative payer, the amount which is due is cleared in the account and is paid by the alternative payer. If you enter an alternative payee, the amount the company has to pay is cleared and the amount due is paid to the alternative payee. For example, the payments that would normally go to the vendor would go to the bankruptcy administrator. To determine the alternative payer for the respective customer or the alternative payee for the vendor, you can set the payment data indicator under further selections in the report for the customer or vendor list, that is RFDKVZ00 or RFKKVZ00.
Customers in some industries place orders locally through their branch offices but pay invoices centrally from the head office. There is a difference here between the goods flow and the cash flow. You can record this in the SAP system using the head office and branch accounts. All items posted to a branch account are automatically transferred to the head office account. The system usually sends dunning notices to the head office, which handles the payment. If the decentralized processing field is selected in the head office master record, however, the dunning and payment programs use the branch account instead. You can see the head office for each branch when you run the customer or vendor list, that is RFDKVZ00 or RFKKVZ00. Set account control and status under further selections.
The following are various fields in a financial accounting document that influence the automatic payment program. Payment method, typically left blank as the payment program will refer to the settings in the master data. If a payment method is maintained at the financial document level, it will take precedence and be used by the payment program. Payment term, defaulted from the master record of the vendor or customer. The default payment term may be overwritten at document entry or later. Payment block, typically left blank at document entry. Any payment block at the master record level applies to all the open items on the account. A payment block set at the document level applies only to that specific document. Partner bank, initially left blank at document entry. The Partner Bank field allows you to specify the set of bank details to be selected from the master data where there is more than one set of details. House Bank, typically left blank at document entry. If a house bank is specified in a document, the open item will be paid from the specified house bank.
In this lesson, we will look at the European Union's Single Euro Payments Area or SEPA initiative. The introduction of SEPA brings with it a large number of changes to the way everyday transactions are carried out.
The participants in the scheme are bound together by the following relationships and